What is going on, guys? This is Michael Williams from Cartoon Universe, and I'm joined, of course, by Haley, and we have some leaks, as is tradition at this point, for new Steven Universe episodes. If you're not aware by now, what are you doing? We're getting new episodes on Friday, January 5th, Lars of the Stars and Jungle Moon, a brand new special called Stranded. It's going to be super hype, and we, of course, have the 2-minute clips and the images. We are not going to talk about the Lars of the Stars clip, because it's literally just what we saw in San Diego Comic-Con. We got that whole clip, and it was actually more than what we actually got here. So we're not going to talk about that, but we are going to talk about the Lars of the Stars screenshots and the clip and screenshots for Jungle Moon. All right, so the first one is just Lars being smug. He's just chilling. That's pretty self-explanatory. And then after that one, we have the Rutile twins. I think we saw this image in the actual clip. And then we get a little, wide shot of Lars and Connie and Steven and all the, off colors. Pretty self-explanatory stuff. And then the next one is pretty exciting. So we see Lars looking at a video or picture of Sadie, and she's looks like they probably did the concerts. Do you think that this is the same concert from the last episode where Sadie quit her job, or do you think this is a brand new concert? Do you think the band is just like keep going on and they're doing a bunch of gigs?
My first thought was it's a new concert because she's got all that, the whole setup with her, the fangs and the makeup and the costume. So that's what I was thinking. So it's like her brand now, Sadie Killer. Yeah, I like that. So I'm hoping it's that and they continue on with that, and that's what she does now.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do with that. I wonder if she's gonna like keep acting like that and like dressing like that outside of the stage and stuff, kind of get it some interesting character development. That'd be pretty cool. Lars is bawling, he's super crying, and he has his little skull gauges on, so it looks like he did get this package. So this is clearly after the little interaction that we had in the clip from San Diego Comic-Con, because he does have the gauges in his ears, and is probably reacting to Sadie, whether it's a video or a picture. Regardless, I think he's kind of realizing that he kind of misses home and he misses Sadie and the people of Beach City and his parents and all that stuff. So that's definitely going to be interesting. Do you think this could spur him to go back to Earth, or do you think this might be more a revelation for him to stay? What do you think is going to happen here?
Well, I really hope he goes back at least one more time, before he's like, bye guys. Yeah, I hope this makes him think about stuff, because he probably in this time he probably forgot about everything. Honestly, he was just so occupied with Emerald and becoming this space pirate. So I think this will definitely get it into his mind, at least, like, oh, I should probably go check up on them to show them I am okay. Yeah,
and it's interesting that his tears still work the same. I figured that might be a little bit different.
Wow.
But I guess it's the same. Or it is lessened, but he's crying so much that it's still a lot. I don't know. I'm looking too deep into his tears. And the next one looks like it's probably an image from before this, because he's just kind of like in shock. And then he probably starts crying later, like right after that. So this is probably the same scene. And then the next one we see Steven and Connie are finally Stevonnie. And it looks like Lars is probably giving some sort of order. This is probably right before they get into their spaceship, their own personal spaceship, to try and fight Emerald. Pretty self-explanatory stuff, like I said. And the next one, Lars is laughing maniacally at Emerald, just completely taunting her. I'm excited to see more of Emerald. I hope we see more of her than just, on that screen. I hope we get some real, genuine interaction. Do you think we'll get more with Emerald, or do you think she'll just remain a disembodied head on a screen that Lars will taunt from time to time?
I think for now, for this episode at least, it'll just be like that. The screen or the projection or whatever of her. But eventually, I think we'll see. They'll probably interact. As we learned a little more about what happened after in the Jungle Moon clip, which we'll talk about in a second. So, that's what I think so far.
Yeah. The next one is just Stevonnie. She's saluting. Oh, sorry, they. They are ready for battle, and they're about to get into the ship. And that's, again, pretty self-explanatory stuff for Lars of the Stars. Nothing too new here, but hopefully we'll get some pretty exciting stuff once the episode actually airs. Obviously, the most exciting is that, Lars is looking at Sadie and getting the feels, so I'm sure we'll be hit with some feels ourselves once that finally happens. And then we finally have the clip for Jungle Moon. It looks pretty dope. So it starts off with a bunch of crazy green explosions, obviously probably related to the Emerald ship. I wonder, do you think they blew up the ship?
I wouldn't put it past them. Like, I feel like that's like, at least they damaged it quite a bit, just like Stevonnie's ship got damaged. Because they just said Emerald's defeated, so I don't know what that means. I'm assuming Emerald's coming back, though, eventually.
Yeah, because I'd imagine a gem would probably be able to survive that, maybe. And also, you know, the general rule of thumb is that we don't usually see a character just once. And I'd just be very surprised if they introduced this new villainous character and just killed them off immediately. Although that would be super ballsy, and I would be pretty down for that if they went that route. But Emerald probably escaped or something beforehand. It's through some sort of escape pod, and they're like, "Oh, I'll be back." Yeah, it's classic villain stuff. And something is wrong with Stevonnie's ship, and we see that Lars that ends up on the screen saying, "You know, everything was successful, everything's good job, you did it." And Stevonnie can't do anything, just kind of on a crash course to nothing. And Lars is kind of freaking out, and he says that, you know, they can contact them, find out where they're going, what their course is, and they get cut off. So that explains what happens and why Stevonnie ends up on the planet in the first place, because the off-colors are not able to reach them. So I don't know how they got that far. Do you think it was just the blast that blew them away, or like did they do some sort of weird hyperspace thing? Like, what do you think? How did they get so far?
That would be interesting. Yeah, if they did the hyperspace thing and they just like rammed into Emerald or something, and then it blew through it. Yeah, and they're just falling towards you know, Jungle Moon. That would be an interesting thing, but probably just, I don't know, they started crashing in that direction, I'd say.
Yeah, and if this ship really was built by Pearland or Peridot, like maybe it's kind of faulty and they did too much with it that they weren't supposed to do. So that could also be it. It just wasn't tested enough. I don't know. There could be a bunch of different reasons for that. But regardless, they're pretty screwed. Stevonnie's trying to figure it out. They are not figuring out. It's going red. And they're catching on fire, and they are crashing into the Jungle Moon. Not a good thing. They ran right into a tree, really dark, because they definitely would have died for sure. Like, it just completely burns into oblivion. Nothing left of the ship but just scraps. And luckily they have the bubble to save them. So again, very impressive that Steven and Connie were able to keep their composure during that whole thing, because watching the actual scene, it's like way more intense and crazy and scary than you know, you even imagine. So the fact that they're able to keep it together this long is really crazy. It's like almost Garnet level of composure right there.
Yeah, realistically they should probably be freaking out a bit more.
Yeah, you would think they would split up, but again, like I said, I think the whole song montage of "Here Comes the Thought" really helped them kind of get their center and get their peace. The whole episode really. So it's really cool to see that kind of pay off. Now Stevonnie's just kind of screwed, doesn't know where they are. See some weird flowers that bloom. I don't think that's necessarily going to mean anything. Trying to figure out their surroundings, and that's pretty much it for the clip. So very exciting. And then the next one, this seems like some time has passed. Stevonnie does have a little bit of stubble, which is pretty cool that they added that little you know, tidbit. The next image is just from the clip. Stevonnie's looking around, and then we see a really derpy looking bug monster. I love him. I want him. I want more of him.
Same.
He's just like,
he's dead, but he's okay. That's okay.
Is he dead?
He's sliced.
Oh, he is sliced. Oh boy. Is this the same bug where they're like, "Oh, we survive," or is this a different bug?
I feel like that was one that we saw in the clip. I'm not 100% sure. We'd have to, in the promo, we'd probably have to go back. But
yeah,
there's a good chance it's that one.
Yeah, and if it isn't, then I guess this could be some sort of montage, maybe, of just showing some time passing and Stevonnie getting better, potentially, and less scared of just surviving. And then we see a little fire that was made, which has a mug. I don't know why there's a mug. I guess the mug survived the crash, or it was in the...
Yeah, how did that survive? But the ship is in pieces. But the mug is okay.
Yeah, I guess it was in the backpack, which, whatever. I guess that makes sense. The bubble saved the mug. Cute little frog mug, so obviously Stevonnie's able to make fire. It looks like a blue flame or something like that, which is interesting. I don't know if that means anything, if it's just the lighting, or if this means something else. Is the fire different on the moon?
That's what I was thinking. Like the flames of the ship when it crashed were this color. So this is also the same color. I don't know. Maybe it's the ship fire that they're still using.
That'd be interesting
to start that one, or it just could be something in the air in that planet that makes all of it blue. That's cool though. It's really pretty.
Because when the ship crashes, it is red, like your typical orange reddish fire, but then once the ship pieces fall, it's like kind of a greenish bluish.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That's pretty interesting. I wonder if that's just because of the fuel. I don't know. We'll see. It might mean absolutely nothing. It might just be a choice because there is blue fire. So I don't know. And then we see Stevonnie. It looks like they're fighting something or something like that. They're kind of battle ready almost, but they don't have their weapons. Still looks like they're in the Jungle Moon. And then we see that they seem to be in this sort of dome, and it's diamond shaped. So obviously the conclusion is that this is some sort of diamond base that is most likely either on the Jungle Moon itself, or it could be on that planet that we saw in the promo that Stevonnie was looking up to, that was kind of broken up. That'd be pretty cool. What do you think? This is like part of the planet or the moon, or do you think it could be either or? Do you think there's like a warp pad to the planet maybe in the moon?
I mean, the same plant life from the Jungle Moon is on this place. You can see in the background.
Oh yeah, in another picture, yeah.
Yeah. So, I was thinking that. Oh, so that's like. Oh, you're looking at that first picture. I see. But yeah, this is probably the same Jungle Moon. Although what's interesting, we have seen places like this in like Message Received, and also the moon base. Very similar structures. So that's how we know it's related to diamonds. But yeah, if you want to get into the other picture, then the one with like, there's like this yellow, I don't know, thing to the side that we're like, what's that? It almost looks like yellow diamond, the coloring, but that would make no sense.
Yeah, that wouldn't make any sense. It looks like, I feel like the little orange reddish part might be some sort of chair or something. So like it could be a captain or something along those lines. But it's very interesting that we get this shot with not seeing whatever that thing is. Is it a gem? Is it a new alien? Obviously, it's probably a gem because it looks like it's a diamond base. So it's probably some new gem, I'd imagine. I don't think it's
possibly
a diamond. It looks, I don't know. I can't even tell what that body structure is. It almost looks like a butterfly or something.
Yeah.
Which would be interesting because it is a jungle moon, so maybe they morphed into it just to blend with the environment. I don't know, that'd be kind of weird, but I don't know. I can't tell what it is. If you guys have any idea of what that is, let us know in the comments down below. And then we see Stevonnie looking at something. It's darker, so it looks like it still might be the diamond base or something along those lines, some sort of homeworld colony type of base or something like that. So this is probably afterwards because the first two pictures were in the daytime and this is at the nighttime. So that's pretty interesting. And then we see Stevonnie again in the same base, but you do see the vines and stuff. So this does indicate that it's probably in the Jungle Moon, not in the planet above, but we might get some backstory on the planet above them because it is crumbled. And if the diamonds really did get to this Jungle Moon, then that means, some stuff probably went down at some point. But yeah, that's pretty much it. This is really exciting because we're getting some, non-homeworld gem stuff. And like they're homeworld gems, but they're off of homeworld, and they're in a completely different environment. So it's very exciting. There's a lot of world building that's going to happen in this episode. Do you have any final thoughts about these clips and images?
I'm just really excited, and I'm really wondering how much time is going to pass until somebody, either that that Lars finds them, or what I was thinking is that possibly there's some technology on the diamond base, that will either allow them to contact Lars or have a working ship maybe so they can get out. So I wonder how much time will pass before that fully happens, or if anything happens at all, like what happens. So I mean, this kind of expands our what we thought, that how Stevonnie could get off the planet. It's nice to see that we have more to go off on, and pretty soon we'll get the actual episode, so I'm excited.
Yeah, it's only 2 days away. So we don't have to wait too long. But yeah, we did kind of predict that there might be some gems or some other alien race on this planet that they may be able to get like a ship from, or get it repaired or something like that. So this is kind of close. There are aliens, but they're probably gems, and they're there, and they could probably use some sort of contact to contact Lars, or maybe even the crystal gems, or both, or something like that. So that's really exciting. Or maybe even steal a ship, which would be pretty dope too. So we'll just have to wait and see with that. But what do you guys think of these images and clips? Do you have any predictions? It's only 2 days away, so we're not too far off. So let us know in the comments down below. If you're new here, be sure to subscribe, hit the notification button. Once that episode drops, we're definitely going to be talking about it, breaking it down, and talking about what's going to happen next. So be on the lookout for that, and hit the notification bell so you can know when that is going to come up. And if you enjoyed this video, be sure to leave it a like. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I've been Michael Williams, joined by Haley. You've been watching Cartoon Universe, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.